What are we waiting for? What are we waiting for? What are we looking for, Africa? Are we looking for mere charters conceived in the light of the United Nations example? A type of United Nations organization whose decisions are framed on the basis of resolutions that in our experience have sometimes been ignored by member states, where groupings are formed and pressure developed in accordance with the interests of the groups concerned? Or is it intended that Africa should be turned into a loose organization of states on the model of the organization of the American states, in which the weaker states within it can be at the mercy of the stronger or more powerful ones, politically and economically, and all at the mercy of some powerful outside nation or group of nations? Your Excellencies, is this the kind of association we want for ourselves in the United Africa we all speak of with such feeling and emotion? Your Excellencies, permit me to ask, is this the kind of framework we desire for a United Africa? An arrangement which in future would permit Ghana or Nigeria or the Sudan or Liberia or Egypt or Ethiopia, for example, to use pressure with either superior economic or political influence gives to decide the flow and direction of trade, say from Burundi or Togo or Nyasaland to Mozambique and Madagascar. We all want a united Africa. United not only in our concept of what unity connotes, but united in our common desire to move forward together in dealing with all the problems that can best be solved only on a continental basis. Sir, when the first Congress of the United States met many years ago at Philadelphia, one of the delegates sounded the first chord of unity by declaring that they had met in a state of nature. In other words, they were not in Philadelphia as Virginians or Pennsylvanians, but simply as Americans. This reference to themselves as Americans was in those days a new and strange experience. But may I dare to assert, equally on this occasion, Your Excellencies, that we meet here today not as Ghanaians, Guineans, Egyptians, Algerians, Moroccans, Malians, Liberians, Congolese, or Nigerians, but as Africans. Africans united in our resolve to remain here until we have agreed on the basic principles of a new compact of unity among ourselves, with guarantees for us and our future, a new arrangement for continental government. If we succeed in establishing a new set of principles as the basis of a new charter or statute for the establishment of a continental unit of Africa and the creation of social and political progress for our people, then, in my view, this conference should mark the end of our various groupings and regional blocs. But if we fail and let this grand and historic opportunity slip by, then we shall give way to greater dissension and division among us for which the people, the masses of the people of Africa, will never forgive us. And the popular and progressive forces and movements within Africa will condemn us, surely. I'm sure, therefore, that we shall not fail them. Your Excellencies, I have spoken at length because it is necessary for us all to explain not only to one another present here, but also to our people who have instructed us the fate and destiny of the African continent. We must therefore not leave this place until we have set up an effective machinery for achieving African unity. To this end, I now propose for your consideration the following. As a step, Your Excellencies, a declaration of principles uniting and binding us together, and to which we must all faithfully and loyally adhere, and laying the foundation of unity should be set down. And there should also be a formal declaration that all the independent African states here and now agree to the establishment of a Union of African States. A second, an urgent step for the realization of the unification of Africa. An All-Africa Committee of Foreign Ministers be set up now, and that before we rise from this conference, a date should be fixed for them to meet. This committee should establish, on behalf of the heads of our governments, a permanent body of officials and experts to work out a machinery for the Union Government of Africa. This body of officials and experts should be made up of one or two of the best brains from each of the independent African states. The various charters of the existing groupings and other relevant documents could also be submitted to this official expert, working under the hegemony of a committee of the foreign ministers. And a presidium consisting of the heads of government of the independent African states should be called upon to meet and adopt a constitution and other recommendations which will launch the government of Africa. We must also decide on a location where this body of officials and experts will work as the new headquarters or capital of our union government. Some central place in Africa might be the first suggestion. From my view, either at Bangui in the Central African Republic or in Libreville in the Congo. All the officials that will go there, and we shall support their work. My colleagues may have other proposals. The Committee of Foreign Ministers, officials and experts should be empowered, because you have no time, to establish, 1, a commission to frame a constitution for the Union Government of African States. 2, a commission to work out a continent-wide plan for the united or common economic and industrial program for Africa. This plan should include for setting up a common market for Africa, an African currency, African monetary zone, an African central bank, a continental communication system. 3rd, a commission to draw up details for common foreign policy and diplomacy. A commission to produce plans for a common system of defense. A commission to make proposals for a common African citizenship. These commissions will report to the Committee of Foreign Ministers, who should in turn submit within 6 months of the conference their recommendation to the Presidium. The Presidium meeting in conference at the Union headquarters, whether it's at Bangui or Libreville, will consider and approve the recommendations of the Committee of Foreign Ministers in order to provide funds immediately for the Committee of the Permanent Officials and Experts of the headquarters of the Union, I suggest that a special committee be set up now to work out a budget for this, Your Excellencies. With these steps, I submit we shall be irrevocably committed to the road which will bring us to a union government of Africa. Only a united Africa with central political direction can successfully give effective material and moral support to our freedom fighters in Southern Rhodesia, Angola, Mozambique, Southwest Africa, Bechuanaland, Swaziland, Basutoland, Portuguese Guinea, etc., and of course South Africa. All Africa must be liberated now. It is therefore imperative for us, here and now, to establish a liberation bureau for African freedom fighters. The main object of this bureau, to which all governments should subscribe, should be to accelerate emancipation of the rest of Africa, still under colonial and racialist domination and oppression. It should be our joint responsibility to finance and support this bureau. On their successful attainment of independence, these territories will automatically join our Union of African States and thus strengthen the fabric of Mother Africa. It's the only hope for them. Otherwise, when they become independent, why are they going? We shall live here, having laid the foundation of our unity. Your Excellencies, nothing could be more fitting than that the unification of Africa should be born on the soil of a state which stood for centuries as a symbol of African independence. Let us return to our people of Africa, not with empty hands and with high-sounding resolutions, but with the firm hope and assurance that at long last, African unity has become a reality. What brought all of you here? We shall thus begin the triumphant march to the kingdom of the African personality and to a continent of prosperity and progress, of equality and justice, and of work and happiness. This shall be our victory. Victory within a continental government of a Union of African States. This victory would give our voice greater force in world affairs and enable us to throw our weight more forcibly on the side of peace. The world needs peace in which the greatest advantage can be taken to the benefits of science and technology. Many of the world's present ills are to be found in the insecurity and fear engendered by the threat of nuclear war. Especially, do we, the new nations, need peace in order to make our way into a life of economic and social well-being amid an atmosphere of insecurity and instability that will promote moral, cultural, and spiritual fulfillment. If we in Africa can achieve this example of a continent knit together in common policy and common purpose, we shall have made the finest possible contribution to that peace for which all men and women thirst today, and which will lift once and forever the deepening shadow of global destruction from mankind. Ethiopia shall stretch forth her hands unto God. Africa must unite.
Yes, Africa must really unite. I hope if everybody can hear me, kindly tell me you can hear me, because sometimes we find it difficult to hear each other. So if you can hear me, let me know you can hear me. Can you people hear me? Mr. Armiao, can you hear me? Mr. Armiao, can you hear me? Hello, can you people hear me? If you can hear me, let me know you can hear me so that we move on. Because first of all, I have to know, make sure that everybody can hear me. If you can hear, just kindly, show up and say yes, we can hear you. Kindly let us know if you can hear us. Can you all hear us? Can everybody hear our voice? Miss Armiao, can you hear me? Hello? Can you all hear me? Oh, okay. Can everybody hear me here right now? Yeah. Brothers and sisters, if you can hear me, let me know so that we'll move on. I think Mr. Armiao has a problem with the connection. Can you hear me, Mr. Armiao?
Yes, I can hear you loud and clear. Can
Good.
you hear me
That's
too?
good. I can also hear you. That's good. That's what I want to hear. Okay, brothers and sisters, today you are here with us, and then we are here with Mr. Armiao Osama, who will surely, introduce himself to you, and then he will tell you much about himself, and then he will also deliberate. He's the one going to take us through. Please, if you are here, kindly share the program. It's going to take us through, the program that we are going to, he's going to take us through the Berlin Conference and other issues concerning Africa, and then the agenda of our Economic Fighters League in Ghana, which is like the fighters in South Africa, fighters in all over Africa, and other Pan-African movements that are there in all over in Africa. We are going to target on the Berlin Conference, which we know it to be the agenda, a lot of agenda behind the Berlin Conference. And so today we are going to tackle this issue with Mr. Armiao. So, Mr. Armiao, can you kindly introduce yourself to the people? Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much, Rasbamba. And most especially, let me give salutations to our sisters, all those who have walked the path of African unity till this date. Basically, I'm RL Armia Usama of the Economic Fighters League. I'm an African, like Kwame Nkrumah would say, not because I'm born in Africa, but because Africa is born in me. So the baton is now in our hands, and we have to take it to another level. The path ahead of us is lengthy. The work ahead of us is as difficult as it is easy. The choice is for us to decide which path we want to go. Like I said, I'm El Armia Osama. I'm a Pan-Africanist. I believe in the idea that unification of Africa is the only solution, or is the ultimate or the gateway to African progress. Any African who is an African, any African who knows he is an African, and Africans who are yet to know that they are Africans, our unification is the headway. That's why people like Nkrumah, Kwame Nkrumah, has written so many books. Among them is Africa Must Unite, which I encourage each and every one of us, those of us who have not read it, to at least have a glimpse, go through it and understand what Nkrumah was trying to tell us way back, some decades back ago. But today, what I seek to highlight today is we need to understand as Africans the problem at hand. So there's a understanding part of the solution. We get there.
Mr. Armia, since
So
we lost you.
Pan-Africanism, as we all understand it. You lost me? Okay.
Yeah. Now we are getting you.
Okay. So Pan-Africanism, the unification, political unification of Africa, Africans in Africa, and then economic unification of Africans in Africa, as well as Africans in the diaspora, is very, very important. So, but we can unite, or we can become a united nation of Africans when we don't understand the problem we are into at this material moment. And at this material moment, we have had the best of opportunities to move forward.
To move forward, and I think we had also another infringement due to the network, so we're still willing to get Mr. Armia back. Yes, if you don't know about Mr. Armia Osama, Mr. Armia Osama is the head of the student command in the Economic Fighters League in Ghana, a Pan-African movement that a resistance movement and trying to fight for the economic freedom of Africa and mostly unity among the African nations. So this is why today it's very important for us to bring up these kind of issues so that we can all discuss what is very important for us as Africans, as a nation, as a unity, what is very important for us. And in this case, we are going to discuss about the Berlin Conference. The Berlin Conference, which has become, let's say, the stepping stone of the division of Africa and the beginning of where everything started to date that we still have the new colonialists. I think Mr. Armia Osama has gotten some problem. Let me send you to Ernest Yobua, and you see who is Ernest Yobua of the Economic Fighters League. He is the commander-in-chief of the Economic Fighters League in Ghana. So let me send you there so you see what is in Ghana.
You won't have democracy without parliament. And the Speaker, I'm sure the press will take me on this. Parliament won't sit under trees. So, Mr. Speaker, this whole matter, I think, should be brought to the fore. Let it be debated, and then ultimately a decision one way or the other.
We don't need any debate in the House. We don't need any discussion on this. Drop that chamber. Drop that chamber. Drop that chamber. Drop that chamber. Drop that chamber.
I can't hear you. I can't hear you. But I don't know if you can hear me.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now. Can you hear me too?
Okay, good. Yes, I can hear you.
Okay.
Please tell us. Sorry, we lost you on the way.
Yes. I think we've not really started, but let me go straight to the point. We seem to have network challenges here. Yeah. Basically, the nature of African problem right now. I'm just a student of knowledge. I'm a researcher. I'm trying to identify how to understand these metrics we are in as Africans, and how can we get out of it and become a united nation and work our way toward the unification of African people, regardless of where you are. And the need for this broad-based approach for us to unite is the reason why we have to is that there is this machinations alongside colonialism. Colonialism has manifested itself in several shapes and forms, which the current one we are experiencing is neo-colonialism, which Kwame Nkrumah hinted us will be the final and the most dangerous kind of imperialism. But what I seek to highlight here is that there has been a prolonged, broad-based plan by Europeans for them to keep us where we are. In fact, where we are is a perfect explanation of a complete execution of their plans to keep us where we are. So then there has been several treaties. Europeans have held secret treaties. At one time, let me begin by saying this. I don't want to approach this kind of discussion with a slave mentality, with 15th century slave mentality. Africans, or the history of Africa didn't start with slavery. So I want us to start on this point. I want to take us back before 15th century, before the coming of the Europeans to African lands, before they came to start naming our lands, before they came to start to change our names, to change the demography, to change geography, to change everything about us, just to keep us lost. Before they came, what were we? Let me take you back to in 711. 711 AD. That's during the Spanish era.
Yeah.
Spain is just a recent name.
The Inquisition of the Spanish, right?
Yes, Spanish Inquisition. You can mention Spanish Inquisition. Spanish Inquisition was an inquisition or an agenda by the Europeans to push out Africans who dominated them. So at one time, the Iberian Peninsula, which is today Spanish Peninsula, or Spain as it is called today, used to be dominated by Africans. In fact, when you look at the world's map, the gap between the Northern Africa and Spain is just is virtually not at all, and is non-existent. So there existed a time in the 711 AD when we dominated them. We lived there, and at that time we were not called blacks. We were not called blacks. At that time, we would be called different type of things. But that particular time and that material time or that particular moment, predominantly, we were called Moors, M-O-O-R. At this particular time, we dominated Europe. We taught them a lot of stuff. In fact, before they came here, we were there before. So it's because of the kind of because of the science, mathematics, all this knowledge that we brought to them, all what they saw in us. The Europe, as you see it today. Today, when you go to Spain, you have Moorish castle in Spain, but very few people know of this. We dominated them. We built better castle than what they built here. What they built here, they are dungeons. They are slave dungeons. They are not even castles. When you see a castle, you know what a castle is. So I'm trying to approach history this time around without attaching slave mentality. We were greater. We were queens and kings before they came. So in 711 AD, we have dominated Europe because Spain was under Moorish dominance. And even today, when you go to Spain, you see our relics. I've never been to Spain, but we've read it from books. And I'm sure those who have been to Spain will confirm that these things we are talking about are there. So, and then came the Spanish Inquisition. You know, the Spanish Inquisition was kind of decolonialization of Europe. We have dominated them for far too long. The Spanish Inquisition, it happened in 1478 AD. So in 1478, when this happened, imagine from 711 AD to 1478, how many centuries in between? A whole long. So Africa was a civilization. In fact, Kwame Nkrumah indicated in his book that at 800 AD, world established empire. So this before the advent of slavery. So but at what time, at a particular time, that's in 1478 AD, the British, sorry, the Spanish king, that's what's his name? Two Spanish Christian monarchs. That's one by the name Queen Isabella the First of Castile, and then King Ferdinand II of Aragon. Today, we will call the entire Iberian Peninsula Spain. So these two kings, monarchs, said, no, we've had too much of you Moors. Today, you call us black. In contemporary language, they say, blah, we have too much of you people. We don't need you on our land anymore. And you and I will understand it's because of economics, because we have dominated them, and opportunities, their population keeps growing, and they are also thinking of unemployment, as we are complaining today. They are complaining of we have come to take better opportunities, we are taking their resources, all these complaints. So they push us out of their peninsula. So after they push us back, so the Spanish Inquisition was one piece of history that pushed Africans. It was a blow. So imagine all these Africans who have lived centuries in Europe and will have to return to Africa. They are returning to Africa with all their lifetime. All their lifetime they have lived in Europe. They have to leave it because Ferdinand and Isabella said, no, we don't need you on our land. We need you to go. Now, in 14, there was another. In fact, we are going to highlight, at the end of this discussion, I'm going to highlight some pieces of history and try to connect dots why we are where we are today. The first one I've mentioned is the Spanish Inquisition. We realized in the 711 AD, we had dominated them. There was nothing like we being put in chains. We were kings and queens. And Kwame Nkrumah highlighted in his book and in a lot of other books that, in fact, that's where we got the name Ghana today. In fact, Kwame Nkrumah was trying to pay reverence to the once existing empire, the Ghana Empire, which at 800 AD was an established empire with all the civilizations. We had everything. So
that means the word Ghana is not the word our people think is a particular name from the place Ghana. That means it isn't, right?
Yes, no, there used to be an empire. An empire goes beyond, these imaginary boundaries you see nowadays never existed. An empire can go as far as its strength. Today, we say United States of America is powerful, but we know United States of America is thousands of miles away. But yet, its military might, its superiority transcends boundary. So Ghana Empire at that time was boundless. So its strength goes as far as its strength can go. So that was the empire. Kwame Nkrumah was trying to attach us to once upon a time, we were once great men. Kwame Nkrumah could have agreed and allowed the name they gave us, Gold Coast, which the British gave us, Gold Coast. He said no.
Yeah. Like Cote d'Ivoire. Like Cote d'Ivoire
and other names. Exactly. So imagine from 711 AD as we dominated Spain and Portugal. Spain and Portugal, we dominated them as at 711. So as like I mentioned, in these two places when you go, you will see in Portugal when you go, you will see our relics. You will see Moorish castles. You will see buildings and a whole lot of relics that we have left behind. That shows we were once there. Like today, when you come to Ghana, we have slave dungeons.
Yes.
To remind you, understand. But we were there before. You understand? We opened their eyes. We civilized them. We were there. They saw what we could do. They saw how we lived our life. They saw how we were so human, so loving, so caring, so prosperous. All these qualities they saw among us. So they now, after Spanish Inquisition, imagine, the first Portuguese came to West Africa. That's in the 15th century. They were the first to come to Africa. In fact, West Africa. And when they came, that's 15th century. And we are talking about 1478, the Spanish Inquisition. So that's immediately after they said we should leave their land. They came with their ships and boats to our shores. So Spanish Inquisition was the first blow, in my understanding, was our first fall, the first fall of, quote unquote, the black man. But as at that time, we were never called blacks. We were queens and kings. In fact, when they came, like I said, I'm going to mention pieces of history, then we will just try to connect dots. And then in 1493, there was also another doctrine of discovery. The doctrine of discovery, this another Pope, Pope Alexander the Sixth. Pope Alexander the Sixth, in fact, gave a papal bull. When we say papal bull, is let's say a declaration that this particular piece of land, go and colonize it and own whatever is on it, including the humans which are on it. This Pope Alexander the Sixth. That's May 4th, 14. Alexander the Fifth, May 4th, 1493. And this came to be known as the Doctrine of Discovery. So whatever, and they whatsoever land that they, according to them, whatsoever land that Columbus discovered the previous years or decades, previously discovered, these lands, when they discover them, they should own everything. They should own the land, own the natural resources, own the humans as well. So when you read the details of the doctrine, so I'm giving pointers. We are just researchers. We are putting pointers for people to go and do their own research and counter research.
Exactly,
and
because
counter
it's very important that
cross reference whatever we are giving.
Like your highlight is very important for us because it gives us some points. Now, some of us don't know about this Pope, and then I think it's very, very important for us to go even to find it out.
That's right.
If you can mention the name again, so for people who doesn't know this name, we'll go and make this research.
Pope Alexander the Sixth. Pope
Alexander the Sixth. Okay, thank you.
Yes. So on May 4th, 1493, this was when he made a declaration that they should go. These people should go. They should, whosoever land Columbus discovered previously, they should go and dominate it. So this particular declaration is what is now called the Doctrine of Discovery. So Doctrine of Discovery was another blow on Africans, and not just Africans, but Americans. We'll get to that later. I want to focus more on Africans, because if a Pope can declare that another piece of land should be invaded and owned illegally, imagine today, Asantini says, because all Asante should go into the land, and any land that is called Ghana is theirs. They should go and own the land, own the natural resources on it, under it, and the humans as well. You know, it's something that people will kick against. So basically, that was what Pope Alexander the Sixth did, and he did that as a papal bull. He is the Pope at that time. And the next one I also want to highlight was there was another secret treaty of Verona. Secret treaty of Verona. I'm going to give pointers. We are researchers and we are trying to understand and share what we have discovered. And
yeah, I think our brother, our comrade, is giving us a very big point. And Pope Alexander the Fifth being one of the Pope. I think Mr. Armiao, comrade. Okay. He's giving us a very big figures, and that's very important for us to know, even within our history, because some of us Africans don't know our history. Being an African is not only being from Ghana, being from Togo, being from wherever in the land of Africa. Wherever you are a black person, you're also an African. And I think this is a very good information that will make our own researchers. We get to know where we are coming from and where we are going to and what we are thinking that we are going to do. So I think Mr. Armiao is around again. Mr. Armiao, are you back?
Yes, please.
Sorry, I think the network.
Yeah, we have network.
Okay, you are just finishing the Pope side, okay. And you are making some references. Can you retake that one again? Pope Alexander the Fifth.
The Sixth.
Yeah, the Sixth.
Pope the Sixth, Pope Alexander the Sixth, who gave a papal bull, bull or a declaration, which today is referred to as the Doctrine of Discovery.
Okay.
Yeah, and this gave them the mandate to go out there, all those pieces of land they claim Columbus discovered, they should go and own it and own the resources on it. So you understand the kind of mentality these people are coming with. Then exactly. I move forward to the how do you call it? The Secret Treaty of Verona. In fact, there's a Secret Treaty of Verona. You know, there was also the Secret Treaty of Verona. I think we can read further on that. But what I would like to highlight is there had been a conflict between whether that's among the Europeans. In fact, you see, the Spanish Inquisition, the Doctrine of Discovery, all these things were European initiatives.
Yes.
And now Secret Treaty of Verona. The Secret Treaty of Verona was another treaty that was held among European nations, including, or let me say Europeans, Austria, France, Prussia, and Russia. They held this treaty. In fact, there was it is also recorded in it's also in public record of United States Congressional Record. That's what I would like to refer to for this in this particular discussion. What is in the Congressional record is that there has been confusion. Razbamba, can you hear me?
Ms. Aria, go on. We had a small infringement, I think.
Razbamba, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. I can hear you. And you, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, please go on.
Yes. So the Secret Treaty of Verona, one Senate made sure he put it in public record, in congressional record in the United States. He made sure he put it on record because it's important for us, in fact, Africans now. Why? Because there was a confusion between whether leadership by monarchy or representative leadership, like what we have in Ghana now, or a Republican form of leadership, which one should be considered. So it was agreed secretly among them that they will make sure they will overthrow every single Republican government that exists. Does that ring a bell in your mind?
Yes.
This way back in 1822. It was machinated that the rule of the people must never happen. They must do whatever they can to make sure the rule of the people is replaced with a rule by representation, so that they can corrupt them like what we are seeing today. So the secret treaty of Verona is in 1822. America used to be a republican state. When we say republic, you know, one of my teachers tells me law and history moves together. And indeed, law and history moves together. When we say republic, basically say back to public, republic, back to public. So the people that rule. For instance, in 6th March 1957, when we attained our independence, Kwame Nkrumah was under the Queen. He was just the prime minister. He was just under the Queen. He everything she says is what he should do. She can veto most of his decisions. He said, no, we need to have a republican form of government where the people decide everything. Let's put the people at the center of governance, because what they matter, they are government. You understand? So Kwame Nkrumah, after gaining independence, gave us a republic. And with that republic came a Republican Constitution. That's the 1960 Republican Constitution. Are you with me, Razbamba?
Yes, I'm with you. Yeah.
Okay. The 1960 gave us the 1960 Constitution. We have a constitution called the Republican Constitution. And in that constitution, when you read from the beginning to finish, after every single major article, it is written, the people, the right to repeal or alter this article is reserved in the people. The right to repeal or alter any part of that constitution. If the people said today, no, we want to use our gold resources to build roads for 4 years, that's what is going to happen. That way, will any politician be corrupted? This is what the people have said. You understand? But because that form of governance does not allow imperial control. So that's why Kwame Nkrumah gave us a republican government. And there were people in Ghana who were opposed to the republican form of governance. And I'm mentioning this republican form of government and why they overthrew Kwame Nkrumah's government, because of the secret treaty of Verona in 1822, when they said they will make sure any form of republican government, any form of government that puts the people in the middle, at the center of its governance, must be overthrown. So this is something that was taken long ago. They knew their agenda. And when Kwame Nkrumah overthrew, you and I know, they said CIA is aware, right? And we know who CIA is.
Yeah.
That's right. So in congressional record, the Senate sort of said that, in fact, there was one president called James Moray, the United States president. The United States President John Moray kicked against this treaty, the secret treaty of Verona, because at that time, the United States of America wanted a republican form of government where the people would be at the center. But that too was overthrown. Today, America doesn't have a republican form of government. Why should Ghana have it? You understand? That's why they overthrew our republican form of government, because that's the best form of government we can ever, because a form of government that puts the people in the center and not kind of representative governance system. All the kind of governance system we have in Africa now is either monarchy or representative. Ghana, what we have is a representative form of governance. So the secret treaty of Verona of 1822 is at work. So this is 1822. We've not gotten to 1884, 85. So Berlin Conference of 1884 and to 85 was the icing of a cake which was already cooked. You understand? They have cooked the cake to overthrow any republican form of government. In fact, in the congressional record of the United States, it is stated that they must do whatsoever, not in the in reference to the secret treaty of Verona, that they must do whatsoever they can, that nobody enjoys or establishes Republican form of government. If it there establishes, they must do whatsoever they can to take it out, because that form of government doesn't allow exploitation, and they are exploiting us. That's imperialism.
Exactly.
So that Kwame Nkrumah was so smart. And in fact, in the Republican form of in the Republican Constitution, Kwame Nkrumah spearheaded, and we got it established. It stated that there is one condition. If any African country says it's ready to unite with us, we are ready to open our boundaries. The sovereignty of Ghana is only valid at that time if there is no other nation who is ready to meet with us. If Togo were to say, "Oh, Ghana, we are ready to unite to become united nation of Africa, we are ready to unite," then per the Constitution, the 1960 Constitution, Ghana doesn't exist anymore. It's now Africa. So there was a window. Imagine if Togo had a Republican form of a governance system where the people are at their hearts. And if the people are at their heart, Ghana, the border between Ghana and Togo is just it's a mental slavery. Let me put it that way.
Exactly.
Because you can't see the border. You only be told Togo is here, Ghana is here. So it's a mental slavery. The people who are on the other side of the imaginary border are the same people here. The Ewes are on the both sides. So if we have a Republican form of government that put the people at their hearts in Togo and in Ghana, then there is no Togo, there is no Ghana, but there is Africa.
Exactly.
And if Benin also comes, there is no Benin, it's Africa. We are the secret treaty of Verona had laid its foundation that if there exists a Republican form of government, that means a government that put the people at the center of its governance, we should overthrow it. So you should understand why they overthrew the government of Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. Secret Treaty of Verona. This was planned centuries before.
That means we're talking about even thinking, most of the Africans will be thinking, no, some people came all the way from, so that it was already being, they have already, put everything in order to overthrow or survive Dr. Kwame Nkrumah to not achieve the African unity, right?
Yes, Dr. Kwame Nkrumah or whosoever it were or is ready to make Africa unite. That's why our unification is so difficult. You understand?
It's true.
But I always say it's as difficult because I've mentioned Spanish Inquisition. It was against African unity. I've mentioned Doctrine of Discovery. It was against African unity. I've just mentioned the Secret Treaty of Verona of 1822, which says any Republican form of governance must be destroyed. And that's, imagine if Kwame Nkrumah's Republican form of government still existed today, would have achieved unification of Africa long ago, because in the 1960 Constitution of Ghana, the clause was clear. The sovereignty of Ghana is only valid, or we call ourselves Ghanaians, so long as there's no any other African country to unite with us. But if there exists any other African country ready to unite so that we become United States of Africa, Ghana doesn't exist no more. It's in there.
Exactly.
That's right. But they knew this. So whatever is happening, they knew what they were doing. They knew what they were doing. So today you hear people calling Ghana a republic. I oppose that. And every scholar, most scholars know this, that Ghana is not a republic. Our republic was overthrown 24 February 1966.
Wow.
That was when our republic was established. It was overthrown.
Again, Ghana Republic was overthrown.
Ghana Republic was overthrown.
Okay.
Ghana Republic was overthrown on 24 February 1966 by some few military thugs and a military rogue police. They overthrew our republic. They overthrew our Republican government. They overthrew our Republican constitution. So we became anything else. other than that. So the secret treaty, I'm making a linkage between secret treaty of Verona that has made it as part of, and those who are part of the secret treaty of Verona are also membership in the Berlin Conference.
Oh, wow.
You understand? So
yes.
I would like, there are several instances, and I've mentioned from the beginning that the so-called imperialists, will do whatsoever they can to maintain their hold onto power. And they started this long ago. But they have held secret treaties undercover. Now, that means they held it behind the veils. But we Africans, have we held, when was the last time we held a behind the curtains discussions about how we unify Africa? What is our plan? What is our short to long-term plan of unification of Africa? These people started centuries, they are centuries ahead. But with this knowledge, with this burden of knowledge, we today should be very best equipped to face the challenges ahead. That's why I say it's as difficult as it's easy. I don't see it to be difficult at all. You know, they say understanding the problem is part of the solution. When you understand the game of football, you score more goals. It's not about possessions. It's not about holding conferences here and there. You have so many possessions, but I don't score goals. We have to score goals. These people are scoring goals. With secret treaty of Verona, we've seen the effect on 24 February 1966 when they overthrew Osajifo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. So now let me narrow down to the bond of 1844. I'm sure most Ghanaians are familiar with this one. The bond of 1844. The bond of 1844. You understand, between the crown of the English and then the how do you call it, the chiefs and the local people, the fancy people in particular. You understand?
Yes.
This was a treaty. This was a treaty for them to get their first grip into Africa, the British grip.
Yes.
So even before this treaty, let me give you another pointer. There was a legislation in the British Parliament that they call, that was in 1843. You see that? 1843. There was a legislation in the British Parliament. That's before 1844. That all lands that are in their territory, their so-called colonial territories, they should go there, establish a court, and constitute the court. So they came to They came to Ghana. Before they came for the bondage, they have already passed a law in their parliament claiming ownership of our territory called Ghana today, which they call Gold Coast then. You understand? They have passed the bill in their parliament. That's in 1844. They have passed that bill in their parliament already, claiming that we should. Let me be exact with this particular one. Okay, we are here. Yeah, so like I was saying, they pass in, they call it the British Settlement Act. The British Settlement Act of 1843. This was passed in the British Parliament. That's before they came to our local kings and then the local people, the fancy people in particular, because they were those they had encountered with first, and the chiefs at that time, the kings and queens at that time. They have already passed a law in parliament, in their parliaments, saying they should establish laws for us. They should establish institutions of ordinance. That's something like a court. for us.
Mm-hmm.
And they should constitute those courts. So fast forward 1844, there was the bond of 1844. They seal a deal with our local chief, to be partners. Okay, we are coming to stay here, do business. We are not here to steal your land. We are not here to kill you. We are here to just trade. We are traders. So when they go in here, in their mind, they have already established
So
laws.
in this case, I wanted to ask this thing. Why did our leaders, is it that we are generous, Africans are generous, and Africans are open to welcome, any stranger in their territory? Is it solidarity? Is it like, I found like it's a solidarity started in Africa, somewhere like that?
No, you see, there is a Universal Declaration of Human Rights, right? At the UN. You understand?
Yeah.
So that we now understand we are all humans, and then we have to behave in certain manner. And you understand? We were having those kind of mannerism long ago, before UN. We understood as humans, if you visit me, if we sign a bond, you are going to trade. That's right. It's something they later discovered after they've stolen all our goods here. They say, okay, now let's put a Universal Declaration of Human Rights. We have those human qualities.
We have already been declared ourselves as civilized, and everybody civilized already. We have already the human right given to everyone, regardless your creed, your race.
That's right. We were civilized. You remember I mentioned to you, as at 711 AD, we were in Spain, in Portugal. You understand? We have traveled. We have carried our civilizations to them. We know they are humans, and we know there is respect between, when two people come together. Mutual respect is something.
Exactly.
But our people always resist whenever there is going to be a naked oppression. For instance, the British Queen, after she has secured the deal that okay, they are coming to be with us here, they went ahead. She went ahead to declare every land that is vacant on Ghana land today. Then they call it Gold Coast as her land.
Gold.
You understand?
So one thing I found is that when they see the land, the mineral resources in it that is much important for them, they name the land, they mark it with the mineral resources, right?
That's right. So what they did is, first they seal a deal. Okay, we are coming to trade here. We are not troublemakers. Now we allow them in, and they realize, no, these people are mining gold. These people are wearing gold chains. These people have these resources. Now the British want to spread her dominance. The British Queen, she declared that every land that is free, in the same British Parliament, they established a law that in 1870, the Land Bill is called the Land Bill.
Okay.
They established a law called a Land Bill, that any land that is idling, you understand, if they come here and there's no sign of human existence on a particular land, that land belongs to the Queen. The chiefs resisted. Yes, so you hear the likes of Mensa Saba and Co. These were people who were well educated at that time. These were people who stood boot to boot and resisted alongside the chiefs and the local people. You understand that, Madam Queen of England, this piece of land is for us, and none of it is yours. You understand? No land here is idle. Any land you see idle still has owner. You understand? So the kind of mentality they come with. So I've mentioned to you, we are on point. We are now going the bond. We are on the bond of 1844. So with the bond of 1844, they attempted expropriating the land to the Queen. But there is something I would like you to take note of. In the Land Bill, They said every idle land in what is called Ghana today, then it was called Gold Coast, is vested in the Queen. Will you be surprised to know in the Sekawa 1992 Constitution, it has vested all our land in the president?
Again,
So
point that
what
one,
they have
sir.
actually,
Point that one. You said the what?
the Sekawa 1992 Constitution
Second one,
has also
1992.
vested our Constitution,
Okay, yeah.
has vested our land, has vested our land resources in the president. So whosoever occupies the office of the president, the land is vested in him. This is way, way back. The Queen attempted it to vest the land in herself alone, in her crown. But
So
the
that means
chiefs resisted.
that's a form of selfishness, holding it what belongs to the people to be yours, right? Like what we say we are
Yes.
a democratic republic, as it doesn't exist. You say the republic is already gone in 1962, right? Or 61,
66, 24 February 1966.
So the
when they
Democratic
overthrew
Republic of
Dr.
Ghana
Kwame Nkrumah.
has gone since the overthrow of Kwame Nkrumah in Ghana. And then now what they are doing is exactly what the colonial leaders did to us, processing everything to themselves.
So, that's right. That's why Kwame Nkrumah says we are in the most dangerous time of imperialism. Neo-colonialism, you will not see a white man, you will not see a so-called European.
No.
But you see your own brother who is acting in a capacity like the colonizer. Once upon a time, the Queen wanted the land to herself so that she can do as she wanted, but she couldn't get it. So, in fact, some researchers said what they have gotten through neo-colonialism is more than what they got under colonialism. So today, when you ask yourself, all the mining firms, all the major mining firms in Ghana are not Ghanaian owned. Our gold resources are being mined every now and then and taken outside. They have been taken outside the shores of Africa, for that matter. That's why in Congo today, the gold keeps going out. That's why in Nigeria today, the oil keeps going out. You understand?
Yes.
But the Africans are not getting the benefits of what their natural resources. That's why Kwame Nkrumah warned that if we don't brace ourselves very well and face these people, then these Europeans will come and recolonize us again. Because with what we are seeing, what our leadership are doing now is taking what is ours and giving it to them for free. You can't complain. You see them as, oh, Akufo-Addo, John Mahama, these people are my brothers. But these people are selling your natural resources. These people are pushing you down into slavery. So the born of 1844, they got their grip with Africans. Yeah, it's like I want to ask a question, right?
Yeah, so there's something I always ask. So upon all these resources, they still take loans, right? From the Western countries. And the youth are still moving outside to look for greener pastures in Western countries. Is this the effect of the neo-colonialism? Hello? I think I have a little bridge. You guys, you are listening to Mr. Armia Usama, who is the Economic Fighters League Student Command, who is giving us more details of how come that sometimes we are divided. And yeah, Mr. Armia, I think you are back. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
You mentioned the dangers of the
neo-colonialism, which is like it makes some of us to move out of our country and then moving scattered, looking for greener pastures somewhere where our country, when you throw even a corn, it can give you something, it can germinate something.
Yeah. You know, when they overthrew the Republican government, our only Republican government, that's why they've done all they could to delete it in the history books. You understand?
Yes.
You understand? We don't celebrate Republican Day anymore. It has been turned to something else. because celebrating Republican Day means you and I will one day rise up and say, bring back the Republic. So they have to delete it quickly. The secret treaty of Verona is on course. They have told their neo-colonial puppets, stop celebrating that Republican Day. Stop celebrating it. Whenever you use the word Republic, don't let it mean the word it means. That's why today you see Republic of Ghana. We don't have Republic of Ghana. The people don't matter. The people don't matter. Majority of the youth in Africa. When I speak of Ghana, I speak of Africa because our problems are peculiar. When you go to Uganda, it's the same problem. When you go to Nigeria, it's the same problem. We are synonymous in every respect of our problems. Unemployment, no decent jobs, place to sleep. Some people can't even afford meals, good meals. In fact, the statistics are everywhere. But Ghanaians, I don't know whether we just refer to statistics for the mere number of it. Because in Ghana, we have some 9 million people who can't afford 5 cedi a day. This should break a heart of in a nation where we are sitting on gold. In fact, Kwame Nkrumah mentioned in his book that this in Ghana that we have 400 years bauxite reserve. We've not even started touching. We've not gone anywhere with our gold yet, but we have over 400 years bauxite reserve. Yet we are hungry. Yet we travel. We use every means to get to Europe. Europe that don't have what we want. In fact, Europe need us to survive. When you look at the Francophone countries, African, I don't like using that term Francophone.
Yeah.
But there's French-speaking African countries, how they are still being enslaved. We shouldn't be laughing at them. Ghana is as neo-colonial as Togo. Ghana is as neo-colonial as Togo. Sometimes we refer to them so that we tickle ourselves to sleep that, oh, we are advanced than the French-speaking African country. No, the unemployment in the African, we are not. We are not. It is an idea they keep pushing through our minds so that we feel like at least Ghana, Nigeria is better than that. No, we are never better than any Francophone or French-speaking African nation. So long as the problems exist, so long as Africa is not united, they will keep dividing us and conquering us. You see, by our oppression, they've divided us. Oh, Francophone are more oppressed than English-speaking African nation. That's not true. Let us expel that notion. We are all as oppressed as every one of us. When you go to Togo right now, the problems there are the same problems we face in Ghana. Unemployment, no decent jobs, no decent water, power disruption, no steady power supply, no clean drinking water. Even water is not, tap water is.
Oh, I think we are still losing Mr. Armia Osama, and he's giving us very good, things, informations that keep us updates throughout the centuries of, looking at the secret treaty of Verona. It has been also a surprise to some of us over here, because we can know that most of the time we are thinking that, oh, come on, the thing was just, the people are just doing the thing, that our own people are just trying to make the change. But behind the overthrow of someone like Sankara, someone like Patrick Lumumba, someone like Kwame Nkrumah, and co, there are people behind it that we use our own people to be fighting each other for us to find no way for our own independence. So I think today's session, we are really taking. So if you want to know, we talk about the Spanish Inquisition, 1474. The Spanish Inquisition, 1474. Mr. Armia Osama talk about that. You go and make a researches and you get to know more about that. Doctrine of Discovery in 1493. Wow, that has also been spoken. You can see centuries over centuries. these informations are not told. These informations are never told, you know. And then what? We come to the Christian Black Code in 1724, which we came to the, I mean, the Pope. So I think we keep on moving. I think Mr. Arimiao is back to give us more details on where he is, on the secret treaty, on other information as we are now. Mr. Arimiao Osama, you are back.
Yeah, I think I skipped one of them, which I heard you mention, the Christian Black Code. The Christian Black Code, or let's say the code, the Black Code. In fact, the word black, as used on us today, is a code name. Okay. We have to understand this. It's a brand name. It's a code name. White and black is a code name. We have to understand this. We have to understand this first. That's why I said today's discussion, I want us to approach it without slave mentality. We would have started the 15th century when the British came, but I took us way back to 711 AD. 711 AD, there was nobody called black on this earth. Even the British have not discovered where Ghana is or where West Africa is to even name us black. Black is an English word.
Yes.
So with this, we can't, the state we are now, and with the references or pointers I've given now, we can progress. We can progress to unite as Africans if we do not employ all sort of history, all sort of sciences. In fact, we can't approach unification of Africa with ignorance. We need competence. We need competence from all angles. We need not to leave any stone unturned. We need to take responsibilities. And we have to start working. And we shouldn't entertain only emotionalism. People are studying emotional intelligence today. If you want to show you are emotional, people can manipulate your emotions. You understand? You have to be intelligent. You have to be smart. And we have all the tools to know what we should know today. So, let me move forward. I didn't mention I'm talking about the code, the black code. And I said black is a code.
Yeah, you are talking about the black code. Sorry, not the
the Christian black code.
Yes.
When you go, I encourage everybody to go. You can get PDF, you can get details to read on it. But the few I would say on that is that the Christian black code was a good set of codes that they gave for whosoever they call or force under that code black. That's why you see in Europe they say blacks and dogs are not allowed here.
Yes.
That's a black code. As a black man, you are not supposed to choose your religion. That's a black code. As a black man, you are supposed to respect your slave master. You understand? So what they did is divide and conquer idea. What they did is, today, Rasbamba, myself, a Ghanaian or African, if I go to the United States today, they ask me my nationality. What will I say? I will say African or Ghanaian. I will not say black.
You have to say Ghanaian. Yes.
Ghanaian. But our brothers there, when they ask them, who are you? They say, oh, I'm black. But when you ask him black, which nation is black? He doesn't know. Our brother, you understand? It's a code.
An intensive,
if you admit,
yes.
You understand? So when you, a Ghanaian, you an African, when you an African go to United States of America or anywhere in Europe, and they ask you, who are you? You say you are an African. They know you are tied to a land called Africa. They know that land has chiefs. That land has kings and queens. And you can even tell them, I'm from the tribe of the Ashantis. They know the Ashantis have a king. Or I'm from the tribe of the Gunjes. They know the Gunjes have a king. You understand? But when you say you are black, that means you are falling under the Christian black code, and everything in the Christian black code applies to you. And the so-called white man will never respect you because all those who call themselves black. That's why.
So
do you see how
so
they kill
who
out? Do you
created
see
the white man and the black man? Because what I know is in Africa we have different race in Africa. We have the black skin, the white skin, the light skin. We have different. So how come we are black and white? So sometimes I ask myself this case, because Africans are not all black as we put it in the, as you said, the black coat, but some of us
Yeah.
are even fair more than some people in Europe,
I think,
you know.
right, Razban, but I think that's another discussion for another day. If you
All
want to
right.
delve into that code, black, I just given a pointer. People should go and read for
So
themselves.
people
But we'll find
exactly.
another time and discuss how did this code come about.
Thank you
Because
very much.
the British came to the coast of Africa in the 15th century. When they came, we never spoke
Yeah.
English. You understand?
Exactly.
So if the Englishman comes to say, "Hey, black man, come here," will you even know what he's saying?
No.
You wouldn't know. You understand? So it's something they brought. You understand? All our brothers, they enslaved from here. They enslaved Ashantis. They enslaved Achims. They enslaved Fantis. They enslaved the Gombes. They enslaved all these tribes. But when they send them there, they strip them of their identity and give them a code to live by. You are a black man, and this is the Christian or the black code. You are not supposed to determine your religion. You are not supposed to name yourself. You are supposed to respect your master because you are under the Christian black code. We can do a more research on that. I've just given pointers. People can
Okay, then we move on. You talk us about, you keep on telling, you told us about the bond of 1844, the Gold Coast. Then I think, what's the next? Because we want to get to the Berlin Conference.
Yeah, that's right. We are cooking the cake. Berlin Conference is the icing that we are going to put on the cake. I want us to understand where we are from. You understand?
Exactly.
In our schools, all we are taught is Berlin Conference. In our schools, all we are taught is born of 1844. We are not taught all these things. You understand? But we need to understand we didn't start, our history didn't start with slavery. We were kings and queens. We civilized Europe. We went and opened their eyes. You understand? So let's move to the Berlin Conference. So the Berlin Conference basically, like my commander-in-chief, Ernesto Yeboah, would say, is they just use a ruler and a pen and demarcate, you go here, you go there, you be there, and that's it. But before they arrive at this particular time, you remember I mentioned secret treaty of Verona, those who said they should overthrow every republican form of government, which they have succeeded, because you barely will find, if there even exists any republican form of government on this earth as we are now. You understand? All we have is a representative, like what we have in Ghana here. We have few representing us at top. And once they get corrupted, we are all dead. You understand? Once they are our pilots. Once they get corrupted or once they get crashed, then we are on autopilot.
Yeah, exactly.
We are all dead. So that's why we are now. So the Berlin Conference is the icing of the cake, but it was also a contingency plan to fast forward their agenda of keeping their grip and letting us keeping our sleep. You see, I mentioned the people of Austria. Austria was in the treaty of secret treaty of Verona, but then there were no many. Perusia was there, Russia was there. Austria, Russia, they are all part of the how do you call it? The Berlin Conference. So you see, their number keep increasing. They keep getting united. You understand? To push their agenda. They keep getting united to push their economic interests. They keep getting united to put their nocturnal ideas. I mean, ideas they don't put out there. With all those pointers I've mentioned, It was machination to keep people who look like you and I down. The Christian black code is to you and I.
Yes, this is really a deep, guys. This is really a deep information. Some of us didn't know even this in the schools, and I know we heard of the bond of 1844, the Gold Coast. We heard of it as Ghanaian, and then but there are things that we're never taught. We're never taught in school. I don't think they are ready to even teach us in school. Like some of the Doctrine of the Discovery of in 1493, we're never been taught. And then the Spanish Inquisition, we're never been taught. You know, I don't know, those in university, those of you who were able to get university, you also read it. And then the Christian Black Code, which shocks me a lot. And I've never been taught when I was in school. So these are things
Hello?
that yeah, thank you, Mr. Alimia, you are back.
Okay. So the Berlin Conference in Germany was the icing of the cake. In fact, it's a poisonous cake that's of land expropriation. When I say land expropriation, they mean taking the land from the people and giving it to another third party. You understand? So it was cooked decades ago, and I've taken you through some pointers of how they cook the cake.
Yeah,
You
and
understand? From the Spanish.
you have the Bill of 1897.
Come again?
The Bill of 1897.
Yeah. The
1897.
Yeah.
The Land Bill.
Okay, the Land Bill of 1897.
97.
97. Let me.
Yes.
Did I mention that? Yeah. That particular bill was, in fact, it was that was the one the Queen expropriated our land to herself in the British Parliament. They passed the bill that all lands that are idle belong to the Queen. And the chiefs and the local people, the Mensa Sabas, the Kaisile force, they rose and said, no, those lands can never be yours.
Oh, okay.
The same way you came here empty-handed, the lands are not yours. So you can't come to lay claim of what is not yours. Yeah.
So this was what the Queen Mother, that's when the Queen Mother is acquiescing all the lands, and she's not even acquiescing, she's taking it by force because when you
say taking it, it's like you are being more kind of giving some. No, they were stealing the land.
They were stealing the land.
Imagine imagine you are in your house with a lot of rooms. Then someone comes in. You say, okay, I'm a visitor. I don't have a place to sleep. Can you give me one? You give the fellow one room. The fellow sleeps for 10 days. And then the fellow will be like, we are in a power outage. They call it doomsday.
Oh.
Yeah. So,
oh my God.
Yes. So, but I'm sure you can hear me.
Yeah, we can hear you. It's okay. We see the effect. We see the effect right now. You guys, please, before you continue, guys, have you seen the effect of what we are seeing right now? Ghana, electricity has become very, very difficult for everyone to have. Look at right now, we're having a very good conversation. The light is off. I'm praying that we shouldn't even lose the amount of power is having in the phone. So we have to wrap up before
let me just
lose
quickly
it.
wrap up.
Yeah,
let me quickly wrap up. With the land bill, I think people can cross-check that the land bill, when the Queen says all idle land, she expropriated and given it to herself. But so that was what they did. So even long before Berlin Conference of 1884-85, these were their machinations. But they couldn't get it individually. The Queen didn't get it individually. So now they have to come with a united front. They have to come with the Spanish in there. They have to come with the Turkish in there. Then we call them the Ottoman Empire. They have to come with the Ottoman Empire in there. They have to come with the United States in there. They have to come with the Russians in there. They have to come with the Austrians in there. There are about 13 states. When you read the details, you'll get them. So you see, they have been able to unite and divide Africa. So the only way we can
I'm willing that the phone battery did not run down because there's light off and we are getting to one of the last part of the session, which is the Berlin Conference, which is the main discussion. And he cooked us all the way from the Spanish Inquisition of 1478, Doctrine of Discovery 1493, Christian Black Code, which I've never even knew before, which is 1724. Yeah, Mr. Miao, I think it's still we still have some breakage over there. So looking at all this thing, he said, don't say that they took it, they are stealing it. I can't remember when we are here in Italy, some of us don't have rooms to stay. So when you come here, you have to struggle to have a place to stay. So in this process, we go and find an abandoned house here in Italy, and then a board inside. Okay, I'll continue with this because this is very interesting. How when you even get an abandoned house here in Italy, they have to come and push you out of the house because you don't have a place to stay. You went there, and the house is being left. Even if you left, nobody's there. But the government will come and sack you out of that place. Some of you have to be kicked, and then we've seen many times over in Italy, and here in Africa they are going for it, and nobody have to say anything. So let's go on, Mr. Armiao. I love this conversation.
Yeah. So the only way we can unite is, you see, I've shown you in the beginning the the Europeans and the Americans. Not Americans, the United States citizens. That's another discussion one day. There's difference between America and United States
And the
of
United
America.
States, yes,
America is a continent. United States
and
of
United
America
States
are
is a
nations that have united.
come
So
together.
you understand? It's a country. That's right. That's right. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. I'm listening to you live and clear.
Yeah. So they
Just
are
that
able
we
to
are closing the
unite.
light.
Yeah. Anytime they unite to divide us. They unite for their economic interests. You see, they
Exactly.
united to divide us. They united and came and took Muammar Gaddafi with their military excursion. They united and came uh, uh, and bombed Libya to Stone Age. Imagine if we were also united. All these people who were in the room or the conference room that day are, almost all of them are members of the NATO. And NATO is a military bloc that protects their economic interest. When they realize diplomacy can't work anymore, when they realize where it has gotten to, they have to use force. They have a standby military that will take any African down. They will take you down with your own military, and we can see what happened in Ghana in 24 February 1966. They used our own military and police to
Yes.
unlawfully overthrow Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. Shamefully, is in our 1992 constitution that overthrow was a legal one.
Like also
So
let's not forget about Thomas Sankara,
Thomas Sankara,
Patrick
Thomas
Lumumba,
Sankara and the likes,
and co.
Patrice Lumumba. They took them down one after the other because we are not united. So the agenda is big. There's a broad base. Kwame Nkrumah warned us that the last stage of imperialism, this is the last stage. In fact, there is no other stage. It can't show itself in a different way again. We now understand it for what it is. It is for our resources. It is for our oppression. And once we understand this is why imperialism is all about, then we better prepare ourselves and counter it. So we must unite. But the unification of Africa can be based on ignorance. I keep highlighting. We can't be thinking unification of Africa as though we are in 1960 or in the 1950s. We are in 2021. We have all the tools we need. We have the internet. This conversation we are having is nothing and nothing if we can't put it to work. So that's why the Economic Fighters League have taken it upon themselves to initiate a Berlin must fall agenda. The Berlin must fall agenda is to hold discussions such as this and keep reminding Africans that we in our lifetime will unite. Even if the leadership, the neo-colonial leadership won't unite us, we are going to unite. And we have taken this agenda. Berlin must fall. Berlin must fall means all these imaginary borders you see in Africa doesn't exist to you and I. People like me, I don't see any imaginary border again. Anywhere I go, I identify myself as a citizen of Africa, United States of Africa. So that's what we should start living it. So the discussions we have, we should leave them. We should leave.
We don't have democracy without parliament. And
I'm sorry.
I'm sure the person will take.
Keep on, sorry.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah, so when we say African unity, and when you see your colleague who is from Nigeria, when you see your colleague who is from Benin, when you see your colleague who is from Uganda, when you see them suffering and you don't speak up, then you don't mean your words. You are what my friend would say a boardroom revolutionary. You always speak about African unity in the boardroom, but you don't show up in the field to practicalize it. We should begin to see ourselves. We should begin to see the NSAS movement of Nigeria as an African problem. We should begin to see Fix the Country campaign in Ghana as an African movement, Every African should support Ghanaians asking for Ghana to fix. And every Ghanaian or every African should support NSAS movement to end the unlawful killing, extrajudicial killing of youth in Nigeria. So when we are able to unify our struggle and our approach toward solving the problems we face, that means we are uniting. So today, Ghana, the youth are saying Ghana must be fixed. Ghana must be fixed under the hashtag Fix the Country. It's simply saying Ghanaian youth must be given opportunity. It's simply saying African youth must be given opportunity, and Africans everywhere must speak up. We shouldn't become boardroom revolutionaries. We always speak at conferences, or we only hold discussions in our rooms, but we don't take it to the field. So the Berlin Conference of 1844 to 1845 is a sporadic of series of meetings the imperialists have held, including the secret treaty of Verona, including the Spanish Inquisitions. These were all blue against Africans. But we must begin to see ourselves. If we don't see ourselves as one, we can never unite. We must begin to see ourselves. If you see a Nigerian, he is an African. And we must identify ourselves wherever we go as Africans. But if we continually keep identifying ourselves, I'm a Nigerian, I'm a Ghanaian, it still like we are facilitating the imaginary boundaries. Practically, we represent these nations. But for instance, the 1960 Constitution, these boundaries doesn't exist so long as if I see a brother from Nigeria who see me as brother, then Nigeria doesn't exist, Ghana doesn't exist. What exists is Africa. That's right. So all these colors you are seeing, we want it to be one color. We want Africa which is colorless. Africa which you can't identify us by the color we are currently seeing. So when it comes the Berlin Conference, like I've mentioned, it's not anything. We don't.
Oh, I think we are missing. Yeah, we are missing. This is a very tough, discussion, very deep, and I think this one will give you opportunity, guys. Everybody should go home, sit back, and make his or her own research, because to make a change, we have to all be part of the change. And also to bring a change to any community, we have to know how to bring the change. You know, when we are talking about this kind of issue, some of us have never ever come across something like that. And today, I think it has become an eyesore and also an eye-opening and a brainstorming situation whereby someone being in America, someone being in Africa, someone being everywhere wants that you are coded black. You're an African. You know, they code you black to make you, it's a code, as Armia is saying, we are coded to be blacks. Yes, and it has, but me, what I know is Africa is not only in the black form, it is not only in the white form, it's a mix of people with different colors. You see, it gives us an history when African, the Moors, we have been going to Europe, and we have been with them for several years. To the time that they came, they say, okay, the Moors have to move out of our place. Empires upon empires came, unity of a countries came to work out the same agenda Africa is thinking must unite also to work hard to bring us a better African nation. I think Mr. Army Osawan gave us a lot of pictures, and you can see this is Africa for you. What you can see on your screen, that's Africa. That's the part that every country is being colonized in Africa. Right now, you are there. If you are in Ghana, you have been colonized by British, and Nigeria, British, and other countries who have been colonized the same way as we are seeing today. And this has been there, and it can never be cancelled because you are now called Francophone and Anglophone Africans. And I think this one will sound something in our minds, will give us some vivid, explanation of what really we are and where we are coming from, where we are going. And looking at the countries that came and sat down for the, for the division of Africa, we have France, British, Portugal, Germany, Belgium, Spain, Italy, and we have some few African countries who resisted and they became independent, which Ethiopia is part. I think there are only 2 countries that resisted this, colonialism in Africa. So this is it. This is what we are talking about. This is the kind of problem we pass through that has keep us always divided. I think Mr. Armia Osama now is not coming, if I'm not lying, due to some circumstances. So let me send it to Ghana, where you see what happened in our parliament. Let's go.
You won't have democracy without parliament. And the Speaker, I'm sure the person will take me on this. Parliament won't sit under trees. So, Mr. Speaker, this whole matter, I think, should be brought to the fore. Let it be debated. And then ultimately, a decision one way or the other.
We don't need any debate in the House. We don't need any discussion on this. Drop that chamber. Drop that chamber! Drop that chamber! Drop that chamber! Drop that chamber!
Now, Honourable members, let's continue. That confirms exactly the challenges.
We are not afraid to say it. Young people of this country, rise up. Young people of this country, this is your nation, rise up. Our leaders are fooling, tell them. We are not afraid of anybody. You can kick me, beat me, kill me, but you will not stop me from speaking. I will say what has to be heard. I will speak truth to power. Nobody will restrain me from speaking truth to power. I will say what I have to say. Drop that chamber. Drop that chamber. If there are no men in this country, I will stand up and say it. Drop that chamber. I have to speak truth to power. We don't carry arms. We are not here to beat anybody. We are not here to molest anybody. It is simply to send the message. Yes, resisting. But you simply want to manhandle me, simply because you lack the courage to tell them in the face that drop that chamber. You lack the courage to tell them the truth. Drop that chamber. This is the setup. You will molest me, you will kill me. You cannot restrain us from saying what we have to say. Drop that chamber. 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 You can kick me, I don't care. Drop that chamber. Drop that chamber. Yes, we are fighting for all of you. Whether you are a police officer or a security guard.
To the African Leadership Series, where we bring you great inspirational speeches of African leaders.
Mr. President, distinguished delegates, I appear before you today on a sad and solemn occasion.
I think, brothers, hello everybody. I think we had a lot of conversation, and in this conversation, I will summarize what Comrade Armia Usama just told us, and I think it has gone very deeper, and we have get much information from our comrade brother, who told us much about the Berlin Convention, about how things are done to date, and then that means we Africans, we have a lot to do. We have to work hard. We have to make sure that we come out with a specific, self-esteemness, and also trying very hard to come together with a concrete solution for the problems that we are facing. So the only solution of Africa is when African gets unity, because we know the United States of America, we know the European Union, we have a lot of united countries that come together, Arab Gulf and other things. But Africa, I have to say, we had a lot of problems for us to come together as one. So I think we being Africans must know that there's nothing important like that unity. And I think it's time that we try to unite our African heritage to break that barriers. It depends on us. So today I won't say that I'm here. I'm your man Razbamba, and our time has gone. I think we had a light up over there in Ghana as we are talking with a member of Economic Fighters League, El Ermia Usama of Economic Fighters League Student Command. And then we lost him. I knew that due to the electricity shortages or whatever happened. So we'll keep on talking again. Next time we'll bring in more about the constitution of the country, constitution of Ghana. How can we be part? How is constitution helping us or not? So we come out on this. So fix the country campaign is keep on going. And not forgetting in Europe too, we have a movement in Europe here, which is useful for us all, trying to a Pan-African federal movement in Europe, which is also being held by different African citizens living in diaspora over here in Europe. So we are still working on that one too. So maybe one day I'll bring them on board and they will speak about the agenda of the Pan-African Federation movement in Europe, and I'll bring the coordinator on board or one of the members of the movement so that we can make the change. So the change of Africa depends on you and me. The change of the world that we want depends on you and me. We will not always be going around and having that we have to look at that. We have to look at the Africa for me and Africa for me and Africa for you. So stay blessed, everybody, wherever you are. We want to end the program here and to thank you for your time, and then may God be with you all. Thank you all.
It's Beats Vanessa Potato.
Talk to me now. We are deeper than we were. Black nature. Preach. deprivation of rights and privileges. So my question be why we keep voting and they sucking the blood of the whole nation. No crano can soon buaji said the you can forge a branch and yakuachi or man at upon some crap.
Oh guys, I think we have Comrade back, and because we couldn't finish the conversation, I think Comrade is back again. Comrade, are you around? I think we are still missing Comrade. Comrade, right there. Yeah, I think we have a kind of, okay, we have about 9 minutes for us to wrap up. I think you're in there, so I was wrapping up the program. So if you can land before we can wrap up the program.
Yeah, with all what we have presented so far, what I would say is that the plan to colonize us started centuries ago. And consistently, they have been able to get together and push their agenda whenever they do their unification. And we see that that manifested and consequently, Libya was attacked. When Libya was attacked, that was a continuation of the Berlin Conference. Most people may not interpret it or may not look at it as that way, because those who attacked Muammar Gaddafi were the same people, were the same Ottomans. The Turkish were then Ottomans. The French were then.
Oh, I think we.
It's Beats Vanessa.
Let's see whether he's back.
Yeah, Bamba, you can hear me.
Yeah. Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah,
We had
so,
some. I think we have some network problem.
Yes. Yes. So what I will say is that we Africans must identify ourselves as Africans and represent ourselves as Africans. We know there are some colleagues of ours who still don't know they are Africans, because when you ask them, are you an African? They say, no, I can't trace my roots. I can't. But there are a lot of brothers who came from Europe and America, and they have settled in Ghana and other African countries, and they are living well. So we are Africans. So long as you recognize you are an African, then you are an African. Even if you don't know you are an African, we know one day you will come to the realization. Yeah. So as and when you come to the realization that you are an African, then make sure you present yourself as, because status is important. In Europe, when you say you are an African, Africa is tied to a continent. When you call yourself anything other than African, then you are anything other than African. So we are Africans and we must unite. And we must unite not just in conferences like this or in discussions like this, but in actions. So this is what I will say for now.
Mm. Thank you very much, Mr. Armia Osama, and the communication commander of the Economic Fighters League. Thank you very much. So also, I'm not forgetting about the time. I'm listening.
Yeah, I'm a member of the communications team, and I'm also with the Students Command of Economic Fighters League. Yes.
Okay.
And,
okay.
I would like you to talk about fix the country, because we have to get Africa fixed.
Exactly. So that's what sometimes I used to say. Fix the country is not It's not limited to Ghana. It's limited to beyond Ghana because it's limited. It's not limited in only Ghana. It's to beyond. It's beyond. It's all over Africa. And more to the point, I think sometimes I used to advocate and say, fix the AU. You know, because we have lost the AU that we had back, the African Union that we had before. So we still have problem even in the African Union. So a time is come for it to say fix the continent, whereby we fix the African continent, because we have a lot of problem. Because me staying here, recently we had our brother who's been brutalized, killed in France, whom I know very well, who came here like the way I came by the sea. He was being stabbed in the streets of France. You know, these are things like if we are people are united, people gathered around him. You know, I don't know whether they are French people, whether all I see is the white people around him and stabbing, holding knife. You know, about more than 7 people on one person. You know, so you can imagine how our division is bringing us down, how our division is not making us stronger to resist, because we've always found ourselves at the wrong time, in the wrong places, because we are forced to be in this condition. So it should not be an European who was stabbed this way. I think the world must know. When George Floyd, I don't know, because George Floyd was in America, so everything went viral. But nobody is talking right now. Nobody is speaking about Yusufa. You know, Yusufa is from Gambia. And he passed through the Mediterranean Sea, he was here. So nobody still. So these are things that always sometimes touches our heart.
So you understand. So you understand that the problem it boils down to Africa not being united. If you have United States of Africa, that means the consulate of United States of Africa will speak whenever an African is touched. You see how the United States of America, whenever a citizen is touched, Donald Trump will talk. Or now Biden will talk. You understand? So we must understand we have to do it for ourselves. Nobody will do it for us. So once we are united, all these problems will fall in places. We will solve them. They will be solved without even any effort. Because in unity lies
like for example, there are people who will be saying that no, unity is not possible in Africa. Do you also believe in this?
No, like I told you in the beginning, our unification is as difficult as it is easy. The choice is yours. If you want to take responsibility in making it easy, you will see it easy. But if you don't want to take responsibility in the unification of Africa, you see it as difficult. So most people who say it's difficult have given up. You understand? So they don't want to take responsibility.
That's
they don't
what
want
I
to
see.
engage in discussions like this. They feel like, oh, we are finished, my brother. Don't waste your time. And no, there was a time when people never dreamt an African would be a head of state. And then came Kwame Nkrumah. And then came Patrice Lumumba. And then came all these great leaders that came before us. So nothing is impossible. Nothing is impossible. Those who say it's impossible, maybe, to my understanding, they don't want to take responsibility in it, because unification of Africa is you, is me. When he is attacked, I'm attacked. When I'm attacked, he is attacked. That's unity. That's unification of Africa. But we want to get this institutionalized, like United States of America. It has been used, different countries coming together to make United States of America. They were just, how do you call it, 13 when they started. They were just about 13. And they never existed before.
Yes.
And now they are existing. So nothing is impossible. If you make up your mind you want to do it and you work toward it, you're going to achieve it. So unity of Africa is inevitable because the conditions we are living.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I think our time is up due to the doomsaw that continues in Ghana. And thank you very much for giving us this fix the doomsaw. Yes, exactly. Right now, I can't. It's harder for me even to see you in the dark. So thank you, Mr. Alermia, is part of the communication command. It's part of the communication command. and also giving out the Spanish Inquisition of 1478, which I've never heard, but Doctrine of the Discovery 1493, Christian Black Code 1724, Secret Treaty of Verona 1822, the Bond of 1844 Gold Coast, the enacted Land Bill in 1897, and the Berlin Conference. Thank you very much for giving us this kind of details that most of the Ghanaians or African youth has never been informed in their educational background, in their schools. Some of them completed it, but they don't have this information. We thank you very much for giving enlightening us. And I think those who were not able to watch this video will watch it later and then get the in-depth of the video. And as Mr. Armia Osama said, he said, we should keep on doing research. We should learn things by ourselves. We should take any topic and go and elaborate on that topic. This is the most important part for us Africans to be able to make it possible. So once again, we are here to give information because our history is very important to us. People were thinking that African people just came by the way, and then they were we don't know anything. But you know, in history, it was said that civilization started in Africa. Thank you very much, Mr. Armia Osama. Thank you for being on our program. And I said, we keep on fighting. So everybody who wants to be among the fighters, you can contact me. You can contact the Economic Fighters League. And for me, I'm in Europe and I have my Barrett. So if you don't have the Barrett, like I didn't put my Barrett today because today we are generally. So if you have your Barrett, like how Mr. Armia Osama is having, I say Obama, Osama is having his Barrett, then I think you need to go and have one. Our strength is our unity, and our unity is our strength. Thank you very much for being here, Mr. Armia. I'll say shalom, peace, and then ciao to you too. And maybe. So, what are your last? Sorry to say, before you to move, what are the last things you want to tell people around the globe? The African Americans, all people around. What is your last message to them? As a member of Economic Fighters League.
Africa must unite, and they must join us to pull down the walls of Berlin. Africa must unite, says Nkrumah. Africa must
Thank
unite.
You very much. He said, Africa must unite. And there's no any Nkrumah's museum or something going on in Ghana that people, when they visit Ghana, they can know that we have to go and see these people. We can find some more details of Kwame Nkrumah.
Yeah, we have Kwame Nkrumah. There is Kwame Nkrumah's museum in Ghana, and then there are so many places you would like to see. We have so many places, so many places. I can't count them here. Yeah.
Thank you. All right. Thank you very much. Thank you very much once again. And to meet again next week, we are coming up with one of the also member of our Economic Fighters League, Mr. Nee. He's also coming out from the communication command, I think. And he also come to give us details of he's going to tell us much about the Pan-African, and he's going to give us more details also on the Constitution of Ghana and how we can all be part of the change we want. So my name is Raz Bamba. You know, my name is Yusuf Bamba in Morsaying, and then you can call me Raz Bamba. Thank you for being part of this program. You can get me on the Ghana Youth Empowerment Movement, and I'm also Razom on Facebook. So let's keep on sharing. What do you have to share? What are the main information you want to give it to Africa? We are ready to listen to it. So try and come here every time, every hour to say that I want to share my idea. We bring it on, and then we all share the ideas on African. Fix the country, Ghana. Fix the country. So I'll say bye to you and see you.
It's Beats Vanessa Potato.
Talk to me now. We are deeper than we were. Black nature. Preach. deprivation of rights and privileges. So my question be why we keep voting and they sucking the blood of the whole nation. No cry, no can, so Buaji said the you can't forge your branch and your queerchi. Or man, anti upon some crab more money. The travel so my movie and here who I see. This be time of the awakening, young voting. This a quite no mama yet, DIM voting. A Juma 7 no mama shed DIM voting. Yes, salary no mama to answer I am voting. Economy now so ranging up I am voting. If you want to be strong, join fighters. The revolution is on to the big liars. We're getting rid of thieves and the blood suckers. No rules, no vote, national anthem.
This time of fall, the other one here cashing until we see a change or the one at the bar machine. It's what I see, Koto, Masosi, the figures every moon that all for shiki. This time of fall, I hold my power. Do you see a change for hold your power? You two suffering, I hold my power. Too much corruption, you hold your power. Schools and the trees now, what a power. You can take this no more, hold your power, suffering, baby. I hold my power. Brutality, we can't take this no more.
Free the shackles of your mind, the game is over. Everybody join the fight and hold your power. Cause it's better to die than to live and suffer. Hands up, don't vote, young man trimmer. Since 1992, we started voting. What did them do for me and you? Now 2020, one more man by your April Fool. To Sebi, what is the wisdom in the school you went to study? A common GA, you can I'm a brain ballot. I feel soon I near we all they wake up. And the new generation really jack up. Now you better run away, cause we know be cowards. 84 million cities, the jail is slavery. If you look into the future, be very scary. Even your child is in debt, I'm really sorry. Hold your power for a change, everybody. Tisa kwa no mama yet DIM voti. A Juma 7 no mama shed DIM voti. Yes, salary no mama to answer I am voti. Economy na so range na pa I am voti.
But you no mahu be say abu abeni. Wanna figure say we mumunya tawo for shiki. This time of fall, the other one here cashing until we see a change. What the one at the bar machine. Yekawadasi, Koto, Masosi, and figure say we move the door for shiki. This time of fall, I hold my power. Do you see a change if I hold your power? You two suffering, I hold my power. Too much corruption, you hold your power. Schools and the trees now, what a power. You can take this no more, hold your power, suffering, baby. I hold my power, mentality, leave your mind on a power. You can take this no more, I hold my power. You hold your power. If I hold my power, hold your power. I hold my power. If I hold my power.